did 2018 end way different than it began.
Well played.
In January, life was pretty normal. I was working full-time for a local company in St. Louis running their sales team. And we were setting records for team sales each quarter. And Chris owned and operated a local coffee shop 2 blocks from our home. And right after the start of the year, Chris accompanied me on a trip out to the Bay Area. It was a business trip, and she went along so she could visit her cousin and her Uncle Bob. Turns out this trip was very life-changing. Chris found out that her cousin Linda was on the donor list for a kidney because she was in late-stage kidney failure. And so she made a decision to start getting tested to see if she would be a donor for her cousin. Shortly after that, we came home and we celebrated some birthdays in St. Louis with Janelle and Peyton and Jaden and Weston, who all have birthdays in late January, early February. Shortly after this, my workplace had really grown a bit more toxic, and I just started questioning whether it was a place where I wanted to be long term. And shortly after that, in discussion with the CEO, we decided to part ways. So this was right before Easter, and we just kind of didn't know. I didn't really go immediately look for a job. I didn't really feel like going back into the same type of environment as the last couple large corporations or even small corporations that I've been part of. So we decided to celebrate Easter at my parents' house. We had a good time there, and it was really shortly after that that Chris and I began discussing about changing things up. And we decided to put the coffee shop up for sale, and we had already begun some preparations for putting our house, listing our house on Airbnb, so that we could camp more. We sped that process up a bit because of the loss of the job, just to see how much income that would bring in. What we began discussing was really 2 possible dreams that we had. One was moving to Hawaii, which was really plan A, and plan B would be traveling in a travel trailer, which was really not our initial plan. We were doing that kind of until things worked out, staying in a travel trailer just to test the Airbnb piece. Neither one of those options would be viable unless we sold the coffee shop. So our focus was really on selling the coffee shop to move forward with one or the other of those dreams. Initially, it appeared that the dream of Hawaii, moving to Hawaii, was going to happen quite a bit faster than we anticipated. We did some research on buying some businesses over there, and we found one candidate that was really, really attractive, and we also had 2 interested parties in the coffee shop. Well, timing didn't work out, so we weren't able to sell the coffee shop fast enough before the seller of the business we were looking at had to re-sign a lease over there for a year, so she took it off the market for a year. And also the transplant surgery was right around the same time that all of this was going on, so it just wasn't the right timing for us to make that move. But in the meantime, the Airbnb bookings really took off. So we listed it first at the end of April, and we got 1 booking right away on April, and really for the next few days after we booked it, we had constant, her phone was dinging left and right, and basically May and June pretty much filled up. And so we realized we're not going to be at our house. We're going to be living pretty much full-time in our RV, our trailer. And so we found a place in Cahokia, Illinois to go stay there for a couple of months and kind of test out that full-time RV living lifestyle. We had some visits from grandkids, and we also had some friends from out of town, and we did a few things around the St. Louis area. Had fun, almost like tourists living at their RV park.
How old are your horse? 12. How old is your moose? 12. How old is your 12? 12. How old is your shoes? 12. How old are your feet? 12. How old are your buttons? 12. How old is your butt cheek? 12. That was putting to get something. So this is your guys's. It starts. It is June 9th. It starts at 6. Then it goes to 11. It starts at 6 p.m. Then it goes to 11. At a restaurant, but it will not be at this restaurant. It will be those goggles. Take my video after. Do me after.
Go ahead.
Hey Pete, let's go make some chicken and tacos. I'm like, I got ruined, so I have to wear the pants. I'm so.
On July 4th, Chris flew to Sacramento to prepare for her upcoming surgery in just a few days to donate her kidney to her cousin. I flew out a couple days later, just in time for the surgery. The surgery was a great success, and our cousin Linda really felt the results and the improvements very quickly after the surgery. However, Chris's recovery was going to be quite a bit longer due to large incisions because they couldn't do the arthroscopic surgery due to scar tissue from a previous surgery and accident Chris had a long time ago. It was during this 6-week recovery period where Chris and I started to lean towards Plan B, which was living in an RV and traveling across North America. At this point, we started filming regularly to capture the planning and the accomplishments of the milestones that we needed to clear out before we could take off on this journey, as well as, once we were on the journey, documenting for friends and family. In September, we started posting the videos that captured our summer and fall through the end of the year. Instead of me talking, it'd probably be more fun to let the clips tell the story for the remainder of the year.
We decided to leave our careers, downsize our possessions, and travel the U.S. in a travel trailer.
We sold our business, and yesterday was our last day of owners of Lanai Coffee in Francis Park.
Look for some upgrades to the trailer before we head out on full-time travel.
October, before we went to Colorado, we spent about a week at my mom and dad's place, which was my childhood home. And I got the opportunity to get some footage of my mom and dad, who liked to camp when they were younger. And so it was nice to hear their perspective on their camping, because that kind of inspired my desire to want to travel and camp when I was traveling with them.
So my dad just turned 81 this past week. But back in the day, him and my mom did a lot of camping. So one of the earliest things I remember, well, I know we did some tent camping, but one of the earliest memories I have is when we bought the boat and we went to pick up the boat. And I think I remember when we were leaving with the boat, it came loose, right?
Yeah, yeah. I put it on the hips, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't check to make sure the clasp was underneath.
But you had the chains.
I had the
Safety
chains
chains
hooked up,
on.
yeah.
So what other crazy things happened during your camping adventure?
Well, the first tent we got was an old tight tent we bought from her Uncle Leonard. It had the ridge pole and 6 poles on the outside, and the pole right in the middle of the door and the pole in the back. And we went to Table Rock Lake one year, and we camped down there, and we got up the next morning, and all the stakes had pulled out of the tent, the sides were all hanging in. We walked outside, and there was limbs down all over the place, and the guy next to us said, "Man, that was quite a storm we had last night, wasn't it?" And we all slept right through it, didn't hear a thing. But, and then another one, I remember we were down at, this was before you were born, because Doug was only about, what, 4 or 5? Whenever I was, him and Vicky was playing in the river, Mineral Point River, Fart River, excuse me. And anyhow, I was taking pictures of them across the creek from where we were at was a great big rock, not a big bluff, just one great big rock against the bank. And I just kind of had it panned over on that, and then panned up on the hillside, and I panned back down, and Doug had, while I was doing that, Doug had wandered out, and he was out there floundering up and down in the water. And so I had to lay the camera, give it to
He was
Mom,
totally underwater.
and laid it down and run out and get him because he'd wandered out too far.
You just had one motorhome, right?
And one more.
And what was it?
It was 28 foot, 27, 28 foot. I don't know if it was 27 or 28.
Yeah, because I remember
The holiday ramp.
when we bought it, I
Nice
figured
rig.
it was about $1,000 a foot. I don't know why I remember that.
And what were some of your favorite destinations?
Bruce Ferry,
Oh, Bruce Ferry was
Arkansas.
one of our favorite places to fish.
And that's where we were fishing on 9/11.
No,
I didn't realize you were.
No, we were Rough River, excuse
Rough
me.
River in Kentucky. And,
We-
we caught a bunch of crappie. And Tom and I were in the cleaning house. They had a screened-in cleaning shack or shed or whatever you want to call it. We were in there cleaning crappie. And some guy came in and was looking at a fish, and was talking to us. And he said, "Well, I guess I better go back and see how the war's going." And I said, "What war?" He said, "Oh, they bombed New York." I said, "Oh, you're kidding." He said, "No, they did." So, holy cow. So Tom and I hurried up and cleaned the rest of the fish and got up the camper to check it out. And that was sure enough. That's what had happened in there.
And when we went back on the beach right by where we camped,
Oh,
there
yeah.
was someone had done the letters USA enlarged in rocks, and also they had a bale of hay that was somewhere had a
It's anchored.
anchored to the bottom, and it had American flag floating on it.
Was in
And this kind of gave us chills. That was in October.
Yeah, October. And,
So what were some of the things that you'd like to do that weren't fishing? They like to
Well,
fish.
there's our part of our camping we will keep personal, right?
Yes.
Well, I wasn't talking about
Well, that's
that.
what I thought you meant.
You just mentioned dogs. I forgot you guys did a lot of camping with dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Last
Last
week, right?
yeah.
What did they like? They like going on the boat?
And we didn't take them a whole lot. But Cassie was fine. Precious was fine. She would look out. But Cassie cringed and her eyes looked like they were ready to pop out of her face.
The dogs are like, the boat was nothing.
Yeah.
Remember Bucky said,
Oh, she was.
first time we took her on the boat, she shoot through the wires for them finally.
Some might say it's not worth our time to pick up a bag or two of trash off the beach because there's so much trash. What good's it gonna do? Basically, each person out here on the beach did their part and picked up a bag every day that they were here. I do think it would make a difference. A lot of the trash we're finding actually is leftover sandbags from the efforts to fight against Hurricane Harvey. It's just a stick.
So that's the review of 2018. Here's my prediction for 2019, and we'll do this again at the end of the year and see how different it is. Because I know if we would have done it at the start of 2018, there's no way it would have been this prediction. Huh, dear?
Yeah.
So my prediction for 2019 is 2019 will start New Year's Day. We will be on South Padre Island. We'll spend about a week on South Padre Island, checking things out there, and then we will return to Port Aransas in South Texas, and we've got that booked for a month, and we pretty much have decided through end of March, April, somewhere in that time frame, we will be on the South Texas beaches somewhere along the Texas coast. We will probably make a quick trip up to Missouri at some point when baby Jalen's born in February, and then possibly a quick trip to Colorado when Lilo is born in March in Colorado. And sometime in April, we'll return to St. Louis. We'll probably spend April, May, and the first couple weeks in June somewhere at an RV park in St. Louis, because most likely our home will be booked for most of that time. And then we will start a trip out west, north to the northwest. So I'm not sure on the route we're going to take yet, but we'll eventually take a slow trip in June, maybe early July, up to the Pacific Northwest. And then we will spend our time between Portland and Seattle, somewhere in there, probably until the middle of September, after the Rod Run car show. And then we are going to head down the coast. And that should take us through the end of the year. So that's my bold predictions for 2019. We wish you a very happy new year, and we hope you connect with us, subscribe to our channel, or email us, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all of those social media aspects, or you can find us on our website at pawseffect.com. It's PAWZEFFECT.com.